We Break Silence Show, E. Charles, Pamela Rosario, Cash Walk, and Viner. That was Tron, Surrender, Song of the Week. Shout outs to Tron.
That's tough. That sounds like some Trippie Redd right there. I was like, yo, who is that?
Yo, that's crazy. Once again, it's the We Break Silence Show, E. Charles, Pamela Rosario, Cash Walk, and Viner. Brendan is here, Rosie's here, Mike's here, Tron is here. New Villa reunion. Last but not least, the last piece of New Villa, bruh. To complete
Who
the
that
puzzle.
boy?
To
That
complete
boy,
the puzzle.
the boy.
That
Your
Got
boy,
the legend in the building.
Mr. Joshva. Josh, what's good, baby?
What's up, people?
Man.
How y'all
good,
doing?
bro.
What's up?
Good,
Brendan,
good, bro.
Rosie,
Maintain it.
Cash,
Maintain it.
Am,
The whole-
Mike, Vanya, Tron. What's up?
the whole New Villa, man.
Everybody in here.
The whole New
Everybody
Villa.
I see you
here,
looking
bro.
good though, bro.
Bro, I mean, I'm trying. The Florida sun, bro, is doing something different to me.
I'm about to say,
Doing
skin
something
blowing
different
on
to
him.
me.
Shirt even got a collar? No, even got a collar on that
We
shirt.
gotta cut
That's
them
the
off
new
down
way.
here, bro. We gotta cut them off down here.
That's the
Wow.
new way. It's hot down there.
It got to, bro.
Yo,
My
Josh, a couple questions for you, brother. First of all, once again, thank you for hopping on. What was I gonna say? So we're quarantining right now, man. So what's your schedule been looking like? How's everything been treating you the last couple months, man?
Man, quarantine has been crazy. My schedule has not reduced at all. My schedule actually increased. Doing video and everything like that. So it's just like streaming, video. I'm constantly at work, constantly doing side projects or whatever the case may be. A few side projects, but just like helping out where I can, just kind of lending my knowledge to people in these times. But quarantine it's been busy, man. I'm trying to slow down. It's been busy.
Was that a challenge for you, Josh? Was it like not like I know it's not a challenge to do the work, but to actually say to reassess and readjust and say, okay, how am I gonna attack this now? So to kind of find a way to adapt to like your new normal.
Yeah. I think the challenge was not freaking out. So it's just like I feel like I always planned for like these times. I'm just like, yes, like in these times I feel like this is where I thrive, when it's chaos.
Yeah.
So in the midst of that, while figuring things out, it's just like, yo, like understanding like you've got to be flexible. You can't kind of expect what you expected before,
Right.
and kind of moving within that. I think that's been like the biggest challenge for me, because I like routine so much. So it's just like I try to find a new routine, and then when things start to like clash, it gets frustrating for me. But just overcoming that and staying like level-headed, I guess.
This is like the anti-routine.
Yes,
This whole
for
thing
sure.
right
That's a
here. Like
fact.
whatever you were doing, you're not doing it anymore.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yo,
Crazy.
Hey Josh,
Go ahead.
you talked about how you thrive in situations and circumstances like this. So what would you say are 3 things that contribute to your success as it pertains to remaining with your purpose and insight while times are hard?
That's a phenomenal question. I probably don't have the answer to that. I can tell
That's
you
okay.
how I
Yeah.
try to approach that.
Okay.
I think practically routine, which is why I get back to routine. So it's just like if you're doing those same things, it's little things beget big things, right? They say something down here. It's just like consistency breeds momentum. So like although things get boring, although things get whatever the case, monotonous, continuing to do those things. So I think routine. I think routine is the biggest thing for me. I don't know if I could get you 3, but if I had to say something else in the midst of these times, it's just a matter of letting go, right? Letting go of what I thought was going to happen, and like allowing my new circumstance to influence how I move forward, right? So it's just like, it's past no longer exists. Like we're not doing things the way we used to do things. Like that changed now, right? That already changed. So it's just like now with the new opportunities that exist, what can I do with that?
And Josh, I feel you. Sometimes that's hard to accept, man. I like doing things the old way, and change sometimes is hard for me, man. But you gotta accept it.
It's hard for everybody.
Yeah, you gotta accept it.
And this is like big change. This isn't little change.
Yeah.
These are like big real life changes for a lot of people that, You have to find out how to adjust, how to adapt or die. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Josh, let's bring it back real quick. You were born and raised here. We all know that.
DB.
DB.
Shout outs to DB. 2018, man. You made a move, man. Let the people know where you moved to, where you residing right now.
It's been 2 years already.
2 years.
It's
Wow.
been 2 years, man.
bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2018 left Connecticut and came down to Florida, came down to Orlando, like right outside Orlando, Kissimmee. And
Kissimmee, yep.
yeah. So it's one of the most challenging things that I ever faced in my life, and one of the most positive things that I've ever faced in my life. Like I feel like I was telling S before, like I feel like I've grown, but not just grown, but like times 10 grown. And it may not be in the places where people see, so it's not even like externally, but just like in my faith, in my community, in my like I've slowed down dramatically from what I used to, how active I used to be back home. Like I started realizing with the people around me, started showing me like self-care matters, like friendships matter, right? Like those things, investing time into those things. So I feel like I've taken a lot of step backs as far as producing externally, but I've been being fulfilled internally.
Okay. Word. Like that.
Dope.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
how has things been with the church though, with all this quarantine?
It's been good, man. I think they've been trying to adhere to like what government kind of says and like just kind of move with that. So I think what I am most impressed with the church, what I am most impressed with, even like the table that I'm associated with down here, is a group of young adults. How they've adapted so quickly, right?
Yeah.
It's just like at the drop of the dime, like YouTube shows, full format, like Zoom calls, small groups, live, like game nights, this, that.
Plan
like,
B was in effect.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like cool. Like the doors closed, but like we didn't close. Like, so it adapted very quickly, which I was very impressed with.
Mm-hmm. So to follow up with that question, do you think that the churches with the not so younger adults are hip to that yet?
Yeah, I think some of them are hurting for sure. I think they're hurting. And that's why I say kind of like gleaning our understanding, and those that kind of have the knowledge to be able to speak into them and then kind of tell them like, yo, you should probably be trying to do this or that. But like a lot of people weren't set up for live stream. A lot of people weren't set up for this whole world of technology. Or like you said, like some of them are just older churches. So like, I feel like some of them, definitely took a hit, but I feel like even through that, there are people willing to help kind of get them online.
Word.
That's what's up.
I got a follow up to that, bro. When you was in CT, you was New Villa. You was making music, videos, this, that. You know what I'm saying? We was working.
Yeah.
Have you found a new role now in Florida now that things are different?
Lord.
New location.
What do you mean? Reframe that. That's setting me up. What you trying to say?
Nah, I'm just saying.
Setting you up. Real big setup.
So we haven't heard much music since you went down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're part of the church now. You got a new role at I think First Orlando. You was telling me. So talk about that. Like, what's your mindset?
I think I've been serving heavy. I think for me, musically, my goal was always to put out a project a year, and that's kind of what I did. Drop Still Standing at the top of the year. So I was just like, musically, I was going to step back and invested my time, like I said, into building community, into building friendships, into doing the things that I thought was a waste of time. Like, truthfully, I used to think it was a waste of time.
Really?
But now you're in a new place.
Yeah, right. And now it's just
It's been forced upon you.
It's been I chose it though. I feel
I
chose that community, and it's built me and grown me so much. And like I've had opportunities to serve at table. I had opportunities to kind of speak. Sometimes, like I had one opportunity to speak and learning how to do that more. And so I just think that in the midst of all of that, new passions have been birthed. So I just been like navigating through all of that.
Word. That's what's up, man.
So what do you feel like is, I guess, what do you think or why do you feel that building friendships and community is important now? I think it's funny, like I feel like the quarantine has been teaching me the same thing, because I'm very just introverted. Like I can be in my shell and be a-okay. I don't need to talk
Cool
to
with
people
it.
for
Mhm.
weeks. But I feel like the quarantine has shown me, like, nah, like you need people, you know, you need to one, be invested in others and allow people to be invested in you, and seeing like the importance of that. So for you, like what are some reasons, or what is, I guess, God been showing you, you know, is important about building friendships and being plugged into your community?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I learned, one of my core values that I learned down here through taking this program is conveying brokenness, right? So that's what I kind of do in the music. It's just like pour my soul. And I realized like conveying brokenness is important, because to be vulnerable is to be seen is to be heard, and to be heard is to be loved, right? So if you don't have a group of people that you're kind of doing life with and having those interactions where you get to be vulnerable with, where you get to share with, where you get to live and do life with, you essentially, as much as you navigate this world, you're kind of moving through invisibly, right? You're kind of just moving through the paces, because we know you, but do we know you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to have a small group of friends that I have out here, where it's just like, where I told them, I was just like, yo, like, no, like, I feel like back home, I had my core people regardless, like, and I had y'all, like, y'all was family. But I felt like coming down here, I was just like, yo, like, I never thought that I never set out to, coming out to Orlando, set out to find family or find this or that. But I was just like, yo, like, I found that within a group of people that I was willing to share my life with. And I just realized in the midst of all of that, it's just like, wow, like, life is not just about doing, but about being also.
Right.
That's a quote right there.
Not about doing, it's about being.
Like that one.
So many people are you know, that's one of the things that I always say to everybody is good about the quarantine, is that it had forced you to slow down and kind of just be present, be in the moment, you know, like
Be
really
still.
realize everything that's going on, and really realize like everything you have going on.
Yeah.
You're able to look in the mirror and be like self-aware, you know, more so than normal, because you have the time.
That's a fact.
One of the best things about the quarantine is it showed us not only how to be still and to let, you know, God into our hearts without hearts and minds, actually, without distraction, but it also showed you from a tangible point of view how little you can live on. You know, with respect to people who are struggling. I don't mean to sound insensitive or anything like that, but it's so crazy. I was talking about this like 2 months ago. Remember 2-3 months ago when we thought this was only going to be 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So I was in the car, and this is when, you know, before I like broke the rules and got a haircut and was looking like an abolitionist and all that jazz. I was doing a video and I was like, I'm laughing because boot camp prepared me for this quarantine. Like I've done so many speeches and videos about how we used to survive with a chair, a wall locker, your cot, your Bible, and your wingman to the right. And think about it, we're all surviving with that. And look, you know, we all hope and intend for God to be at the center of all that. But you know, a lot of us talk about how things will never be the same and so on and so forth. And I tell people, like, back in the 1940s, I know I'm talking like I'm Captain America and I was there, like I wasn't around in the 1940s, but when the first influenza came through, the world never went back to what it was prior to the 1940s. It's just all of us are too young to have seen a whole nother generation. The world will never go back to prior to December 2018, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. So, you know, Josh, how you're talking about, you know, your move to Florida, how it opened your heart to, you know, valuing friendships more than you have, because you're not saying that you didn't value those things. It's just they may have moved up the totem pole for you. So I really think how that's relevant and how that kind of intertwines with this quarantine is, for a long time, you were quarantining your heart and your soul. You know what I mean? And now you've opened up your heart, you opened up your soul, you've opened up your mind to seeing those really minuscule things that will truly make your soul happy. So I think that's dope. That's dope for sure. Wow.
Yo, when you bring back the podcast?
Huh?
When you bring back the podcast?
Huh?
The crazy good talk.
Podcast is cooking, man. I've been using it as a platform to kind of develop because I've learned like this new format of speaking and like formatting.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've been using that as a platform to kind of work that out at developmental stage and just sharing. But it's just like I am completely vested in doing things that I feel like is going to be meaningful for other people.
Right.
Intentional. Word. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like I feel like just like I said, just another space. Like yeah. So the podcast is something that'll definitely always be there, and it's gonna continue to come. So yeah.
Word. I love what you were doing with that stretch. I was like, man, these are awesome. Like all of them. I looked forward to them. And they were crazy good talks.
Crazy good talks.
Yeah, and I want to shout you and I forgot her name, Josh. You gotta let me know. I call her Smiles. But Laurel.
Yeah.
You know, you guys did something big where you helped out the lady, and you know, you guys gave out a free iPhone 10 to her father. And
dope.
gave
that
him
was
an extra $50. That was nice, man. And you know, you could tell that they needed it, and I'm happy. You know, the Spirit chose you guys to help that family, so that's what's up, man.
Yeah, that was all Laurel on the front with the phone and everything. That was all
that's
Laurel. I
dope.
just came beside her, but that was cool.
Yeah, man. Let's talk new music, man. You got any new music coming out, bro?
Let's talk new music. That's what
know,
they want to know.
Yo, the label is your label is hounding you, bro.
They want to know.
Your label is all over you trying to get them music.
Yes. So new music is on the way. It's got all the project, all the cuts is already in Dropbox. S is getting the mixing.
Yeah, I like how.
No, he's the reason it's taking so long.
He already know. he just got him.
It's not even about you. You made the music. It's this guy's taking so long to mix it.
He just got the files, but this is the last summer. Name of the project is the last summer, and
what does last summer mean? What does last summer mean?
I mean,
because
I
you've been doing it for 5 years, man. You started off with 5 summers 5 years ago, right?
Nah, so I've been doing it all together. I started at 5 summers.
Yes.
But that was the 5th summer.
Yep.
So this is technically the 8th summer, but this last summer for me makes 10 years for me since I've been doing music like since YB music. Mm-hmm. And Young Boys, if y'all don't know YB. But I feel like for me, when I started this, it was just like, yo, S told me a crazy story that I didn't even remember, but just like talking about how like when I had called him and told him like, yo, I wanted to rap, I was just like, yo, I don't care if I rap in the closet, like if I rap to one person, like I just want to do this. And fast forward 10 years later, I was always just like, yo, 10 years or 10 albums. It just ironically happens to be that it's both 10 years and 10 albums about 150 songs. So I feel like I gave so much of myself. If 100% was 100 songs, which is 10 albums, 10 songs a year, like I gave 150% of what I had.
And bro, a lot of records, folks still don't know about it. That's out.
Yeah, nothing to regret, nothing to feel like you left behind. You left it all on.
Yeah.
Last summer in terms of like this saga of the summers, or last summer like this is my last summer. Regardless, say a label comes and they're like, yo, $30 million, 5 albums. What are you gonna do?
Not the Hammer deal.
Talk to each other. I think all seriousness, I think for me, I think I've done everything. I've given everything that I could, and like even like the financial investment that most people don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know it don't. It's not free to get it as good as you got it.
Like it's deep. But I feel like another thing I feel like is like I gave the best 10 years of my life, my 20s, from 18 to 28. Like I gave that. I feel like that's like to God, like that's the tithe, like that's that 10%. Like I don't even want nothing back. Like, you know what? Y'all can have that. Y'all hold that. I gave y'all music. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I'm ready to continue on with my life. And if I come back like Jordan wearing the 4-5, I don't know.
You'll
but
get the itch again.
it might not. But for me right now, I think it's just a good time to be like, yo, okay, 10 years, okay, like we did it. Like, okay, let me step back and explore new things. Like, I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's different times, like different places where I want to invest and divest my energy into. So, or just different ideas. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for that.
That's dope, man.
Follow up. You just said you were in a relationship. Talk about that. You and Vanna shocked the world in 2020, man. That was the last two we expected. No offense, Vanna. You know I love you. Pam, don't get on me, cause Pam's getting ready to yell at me. But nah, man, I'm happy for you. You know, you moved to Florida and you didn't know what life was, and you ended up finding a partner. Talk about that.
Yeah, nah. I keep it.
That's that love right there, huh?
I keep it good.
You are here speechless.
Nah, cause I can hear it now. Like, what you say? So I choose my words wisely. Nah, but she's super dope. I think I feel super blessed. I'm super excited. Sense of humor. I love her sense of humor. But just all together, just to kind of see her growth and spiritually, and just to see her develop has been cool. And just to see what God's been teaching me through relationship. Like, dog, I ain't gonna front. Like, I've been selfish human being. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's some things that I just like to do my way, and it just don't work anymore. So, so I think that's a part of my life, part of my chapter that I'm excited to explore, as well as just creativity, man. Like, I love being creative. I know it's always going to be something with me. So yeah, I'm just excited to kind of take a step back and just like breathe, you know?
Breathe like Fab. I like that. That was whack, right? That was whack.
Word.
That's a segue. Yeah, segue.
Man,
right, Pamo?
Leave me alone, Josh.
Damn, you know.
Pam's beefing with me.
Pam wasn't liking the move. She didn't like the move to Florida.
Like, you don't leave me?
She was offended.
But I'm glad you're doing well, Josh. You really do sound like you're doing very well. I'm very happy and very proud of you.
Great clarity.
And I just want to I always want to make it transparent. Like, dog, like, it was hard. It's still hard. Like, and it's just like, I think it's something to be said for anyone attempting anything. I have the utmost respect for everybody, because it's just like, yo, like, you don't never know what people are going through. And it's just like doing things and trying things. Like, I told myself from the beginning, that's just dude, like, coming out, when I came out to Florida, it was like, yo, I see you in 2 weeks. If I don't, we'll kind of see how it goes. Like, I ain't never know. Like, people will always just hit me up a month later, like, you coming back? Yeah. I don't know yet. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't know.
I was one of those people.
Yeah. And just like it's just like pushing myself out of my comfort zone and doing things, and then seeing that result on the other end. That's been dope to kind of see.
Word, man.
But Josh, what's one, because you said that he doesn't do well with change. So what's one strategy that you would advise someone that's transitioning or finding themselves in a different, just dealing with change overall?
Hold on. I didn't say I didn't do well with change, Pam. I just don't like change, but I do it.
Someone like me that doesn't do well with change.
Yeah.
So what would be, like, how did you overcome the transition and everything that's been happening in the last couple of years?
I think I said it before. I think it just goes back to letting go of how you think it should happen. Like, letting go of like what you think should happen and how you think it should happen, right? Like, I think the times where I'm most frustrated is when I hit the wall of my reality not being what I want it to be. Like, that's when I'm not even frustrated at what's going on. Like, I'm not frustrated at the change. I'm frustrated at what I wanted to happen. So I think if we can go into life with our expectations, but to still hold our hands like open and be like, well, you know what, God, like, if it is for me, then cool. But if not, then like, I know your plans are better ultimately. I think it would help us. I don't think it would remove the challenge of still wanting to like embrace change, but I think it would practically be a bit easier if we did that. If I did that.
Word. That's what's up, man. Before I ask you the last question, does anyone have any final questions for Josh? Before I ask one last one.
Right, Rosie?
That was it.
I was about to say, you saw me? Hey.
That's it.
So, I mean, I guess on a more positive note, you're down in Florida now, which is a totally different state, totally
Yes.
different group of people.
Yes.
So can you break some myths for us? You know, like now that you're officially down there, you know, people always say there ain't no jobs in Florida. Clearly people are working.
Clearly people are working. Yeah, no, I think there's definitely activity out here. There's things to do. I think job wise, I'm not gonna lie, I came out without necessarily a plan. I came out just like, yo, I'm gonna figure this out. And it took me a little while, but I winded up, I don't know who's gonna be watching this, but like I winded up teaching myself, like what I basically did when I was back home was I taught myself video. And then now I'm in a director video position, like at a church. And it's just like,
That's dope.
I taught myself, like I don't got no degree, I don't got no this, I don't got no that. So it's just like, there are definitely opportunities. It's just,
Not
it's
the
just
ones you expect, you know. That's why your expectations, you got to bring them down a notch.
Exactly. And just going out and then going out and hustling, like even the position that I got, like whenever I would put out an application, I would go to the place. I would hand in a physical resume. I had my little cartoon guy. I would go, like I went and sat in on a service before I even attended it. And just like those little things are what actually made me get that call. So.
Word, man. One final question for you. This is a little
right,
off.
Tron? I'm sorry, Tron just sitting there super quiet.
I know. I thought Tron was gonna. This guy Tron, bro.
Or at least
He's taking it all in. He's trying to take.
He's the strong, silent type.
He's trying to take your spot, Josh. He's trying to take your spot.
He coming, bro. Tron coming. I tell you, the runway is clear. That's all Tron. Like I've always been Tron. Like Tron always been my guy. I've always been rocking with his music. He always been putting out fire. So it's just like, yo, I'm excited to see what he evolves into. That's my guy.
Me too.
Look at Tron smile. Look at this guy. Anyway. Yo, this is, this question, I'm going all the way left with this. The black community has taken a hit the last month, bro. Due to the passing of Arbery and last night George Floyd on Monday. Bro, can you speak about that? Because I know when Arbery passed away, you felt a certain way and you dropped a record like you just vented. So talk about like how you feeling right now during this time, bro, especially for the black community.
Yeah, man, that one's tough. That one's tough to approach. I think I dropped the record because I didn't want to talk. I think I didn't want to say it's weird. It's weird, man. Like it's weird because like after the talking, bro, I'm black, bro. I'm a black guy, bro. Like I walk outside, like I know what time it is, and it's just like we live our lives like with that being our reality. So it's just like I appreciate the people speaking up and everything. I think that's super dope. I think for me, my thoughts, not to get too deep, is just like it's frustrating. I'm upset, and I think it kind of hit home. It hits home for me because not too many people know. Like I ain't really talked too much about it, but like when I was 15, I got caught up in like with whole police situation and like gun to the face and like and the remarks were just like, oh, if you have reached for your wallet, ha ha ha. Like so it's just like for me, when I feel like I dodged my chance already. So like I don't know, like I just don't take it. I don't take it lightly. I don't it sucks, but like at the end of the day, it's not a everybody thing. Like it's not all cops are bad. It's not that. It's not even, I'm not even on that type of time. I'm just like, yo, it just sucks that this is the reality that we have to live in. And I hope things get better. I pray things get better. I have hope that things will continue to get better. I have optimism, but at the same time, it's tough for me to delve in because I'm just like, yo, like, the same reason why like I didn't say anything and I just dropped the song is because I'm just like, it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, it's something else.
Something else.
So it's just like that to me is like, it's almost disheartening for me to have constant dialogue. But I know dialogue has to be had, and I champion those that can have those dialogues. But yeah, man, I'll say that I want to take the stance of like, I am positive. I have, I show grace and show compassion to those that continue to find themselves in these situations. And I'm not saying that lightly, and I'm not saying that doesn't negate the fact that I am not frustrated or that I am not angry or that like all of those emotions are still true with me. But publicly, this is the stance I want to take on that.
Wow.
Word.
Yeah, man.
I respect that, bro.
Beautiful words. We appreciate you, man, calling in, bro.
Respect.
Thank you so much, man, for all you do for New Villa, man. We appreciate you. You helped build this thing up from the ground up. So my love, my support goes to you, brother.
Nah, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate every one of y'all. Like I remember having conversations with E about every one of y'all, and just like to see y'all still here rocking and doing and staying together. All of that is like, that's super dope. And just E. Charles putting it together every week, every season.
Yes.
Gotta give him the love. Like he just putting so much work. So it's just like, yo, like
all the behind the scenes.
Has to go hard for this. He put his money up for it. Like he won't always champion himself, but I champion. I see what he doing.
He don't want none of the credit, but we're giving it to him anyway.
He been the most consistent, bro. He been the most consistent. So it's just like you gotta call it what you gotta call it.
Got the champion flow.
That's sad.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the love, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for calling in, man. Tell your future wife, hopefully, we say hello. And we'll be waiting for that music. Oh man, I'm putting that pressure on.
The last summer.
That's right.
Hold on, when do we expect that to drop? I mean, I know I still gotta do my part, but
yeah, each y'all gonna do what it do. And that's like a end of June, top of July type thing for me.
I feel like that's where you gotta sit in.
Okay.
Maybe even
like
mid-July.
End of June, top of July. I need to walk into July 16th on
Yeah.
my quarter.
yeah.
I need to walk in the third quarter 29 with new goals, new visions, new dreams, new aspirations.
Heard you.
Josh and I, we don't really like talking process in front of the camera, but
Yeah, no, we don't.
but he sent me 9 records. I got 3 done this week. I'm trying to get another 3 done soon. So that's the status right now. All right.
Okay.
But Josh, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in, man.
Appreciate you, dog.
Yes,
Love
sir.
y'all. Love
Yes,
all
sir.
of y'all.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing what
Be safe,
y'all
bro.
doing. I'm inspired by each and one of y'all.
Thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir. Be safe, bro.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.